Hey guys, let's get more news from Dallas Cowboys, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Cowboys CeeDee Lamb hypes up Dak Prescott connection after breakout 2023 campaign. Although the season didn't end how the Dallas Cowboys had hoped, it was a stellar year for both CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. They both put up career numbers, and they should continue playing like that as long as they're together. While visiting the Pro Bowl games, the star wide receiver hyped up his quarterback in a big way. Lamb called himself and Prescott one of the top duos in the NFL, per Sirius XM radio. Statistically speaking, it's hard to argue with him. But the Cowboys star wide receiver only had nice things to say about Dak Prescott. CeeDee Lamb was an absolute monster this season. It felt like he popped off in every game. The superstar wide receiver finished the season with 1,749 yards and 12 touchdowns off of 135 receptions. All of which are career highs. As for Dak Prescott, the veteran quarterback recorded 4,516 yards, 36 passing touchdowns, career high, and just 9 interceptions. With production like that, it's no wonder the Cowboys' offense was on fire throughout the regular season. It'll be interesting to see how Dallas improves next year. They finished with a disappointing playoff loss to the Green Bay Packers after entering the playoffs as the 2 seed. We should expect Lamb and Prescott to continue playing at a high level. But there are some questions the Cowboys must answer this offseason. This is one of the most intriguing teams in the league right now. It appears they have everything you'd want on paper but just haven't been able to get the job done. With that said, the Cowboys may be aggressive this offseason to try and build a super team to finally end the nearly 30-year Super Bowl drought. Former Oregon State Beavers star Brandon Cooks among 5 most overrated players with the Dallas Cowboys. Brandon Cooks' on-field production didn't match his usual numbers during his first season with the Dallas Cowboys in 2023. The wide receiver and former Oregon State star ended the season with 54 receptions for 657 yards and 8 touchdowns. The 8 scores were second highest on the team behind CeeDee Lamb and tied for the second highest of Cook's career. However, Cook's overall numbers represent a decrease from his past performances. His receptions and yards were the 3rd lowest of his 10-year career. He had just 4 games in which he had at least 5 catches and 7 games in which he had 2 or fewer catches. He reached at least 50 receiving yards just 3 times. Cooks posted one breakout game where he caught 9 passes for 173 yards during the Cowboys' 49-17 win over the New York Giants. Cook's year was the reason why SportView.com's Sem Yalbulin listed him among the 5 most overrated Cowboys from the 2023 season. Cook still showed plenty of explosiveness and athleticism, but he wasn't the gamebreaker across from Lamb that he was supposed to be. A more consistent wideout who doesn't disappear for large stretches of games would have been preferable. Bleacher Report called Cooks one of the team's top trade assets going into the offseason. According to the report, trading Cooks would save the team $4 million in cap space, and the report sees Cleveland as a possible destination, where Cooks could reunite with quarterback Deshaun Watson. The two were teammates with the Houston Texans during the 2020 season. Some of Cooks' best work in Houston came in 2020 when he had Deshaun Watson throwing him the football. Now the Browns are desperate to make sure that Watson proves to be worthy of the trade package and compensation they gave up for him. If reuniting the two would do the trick, it has to be a consideration. If the Cowboys decide to move Cooks, it would mark the 5th time Cooks was involved in a trade, which would set a record for the most by one player in NFL history. Stefon Diggs can't tell what future holds amid Cowboys links. The Dallas Cowboys have been linked to a move for Buffalo Bills WR Stefon Diggs, and the receiver appears to be leaving his future open. While at the NFL's Pro Bowl games, Diggs was asked about his plans, and he offered an ominous response. There have been multiple moments where Diggs and his brother and Cowboys corner Trayvon Diggs have fueled speculation over a potential reunion on Dallas roster. As Stefon enters his 30s, he is keeping his cards close to his chest. "I feel like I take it day by day," Diggs said according to ESPN's Stephen Holder. Obviously, there's a lot of changes going on, a lot of things going on. I can't really put the carriage before the horse, you know what I'm saying? But I got a great off-season in front of me to put a lot of work in and kind of build around what we got and what we're doing. I can't tell you what the future holds, but I'm still being me. I'm ready to go no matter which way it goes. So, Diggs didn't rule out a major change, but also didn't outright state he anticipates a departure from Buffalo. By average NFL standards, Diggs' 2023 season was fantastic. As Pro Football Reference shows, he caught 107 passes for 1,183 yards and 8 touchdowns. But compared to his 3 previous seasons with the Bills, it was a drop-off. His 11.1 yards per catch was the lowest of his Buffalo tenure, while his 8 touchdowns is his lowest total since his first year with the Bills in 2020. In addition, he dropped 8 passes for the second consecutive season. Some of this can be attributed to Bills QB Josh Allen having a below-his-standards year. But whether it's due to QB play or not, it wasn't an ideal campaign for Buffalo. The Bills, like the Cowboys, are trying to win Super Bowls, and they fell short in the AFC divisional round. The additional speculation and tension due to comments like what Trayvon Diggs said in November has only added further questions about the situation. Either way, Diggs is still producing at a high level. As enticing as adding Diggs could be, it's not going to be cheap for Dallas or any other interested team. Diggs is midway through a huge 4-year, $96 million contract, and the Bills will want a sizable package in a trade. According to Spotrac, Diggs will be due $18 million in salary in 2024. Further, his contract has a clause that fully guarantees that money on March 17. Considering the NFL 2024 league season officially begins on March 13, they have a very small window to make a trade happen without the salary being fully guaranteed. Further, his salary increases in 2025 to $19 million. While Diggs is still clearly effective, he is now on the wrong side of 30, and each year down the road makes it more and more unlikely that he'll produce at the level he does right now. If the Cowboys do want to add a top receiver to complement CeeDee Lamb, there may be better value elsewhere. And you fan, what do you think of the Austin Ekeler situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.